Welcome to this tutorial on snag management and completion in Gtee. This series is designed for just-in-time learning, so this video assumes that snags have already been raised in the system as per the Into Snags tutorial. After logging in, choose snags from the toolbox or from the home page. Continuing with the scenario from the Entering Snags tutorial, the project manager has now been out to view the property and is now going to update the snags. Search for the property containing the snags you wish to action or complete, and click on the Quick Add Edit button. For the purposes of this tutorial, we will action snags exploring all possible options so that you can gain an understanding of how to best use the system. Looking at the first snag, let us assume that the project manager was able to easily adjust the drawer during his site visit. Under the Actions header, click the blue Complete button. Next, click the Snag Rectified button. Identify whether it was a problem with the install, a faulty product, or if the owner caused the fault. Enter a note describing how the snag was rectified. This is important as the note will be included in the emails sent out by the system. Click Complete. The Complete button changes colour, indicating the snag is now closed and no further edits are allowed, although you can still upload an image or a document, or review the snag's history if required. Notice that the system is going to email both the owner and the installer, informing them of the updated status of the snag. As I am the project manager in this case, and updating the snags myself, I decide I don't need an email, and so I uncheck the Email Installer checkbox. Looking at the next snag in our list, we agree with the owner that the jib is indeed peaking and requires rectification. In this case, we will assign the work to a relevant contractor. Notice that the system saves all changes automatically. We now do the same for the leaking tap, and we'll assign that to the plumber. Now we come to an accidental duplicate entry, peaking jib again. This is one of the very few times we'll use the delete function. The snag will remain in the system, but will not be included in any statistics or reporting, and emails will not be sent by default. Click on the Complete button and then click Delete. Enter the reason for deleting the snag. Finally, click Complete, and you will see that the snag now shows as deleted. Next is the sticking window. The window is checked for squareness and passed, and the friction to move it remains constant as per the MBIE tolerance guide. It is acceptable. Click Complete. Then click the No Snag button. The default is to include the MBIE tolerance guide, and this includes a direct reference to the appropriate section of the tolerance guide as determined by the snags category selection. So this is why ensuring you have selected the correct category when you've entered the snag is important. A default note is entered for you, but you can change this if you wish, and we will accept the default text. Next is the orange peel. This is within acceptable limits as per our own guides and standards, and so we will reference the documents we have attached to the snag. The system will warn you if there are no documents attached, and if you have not attached the document you are referencing, you can do that now. Next, we will send the carpet fault to the original installer, highlighted in green. Finally, Gtee Kitchens have reported that the oven door has been replaced, so this can also be completed. Upon reviewing our snags, we realise that peaking jib has an unrealistic completion date, so we change this. I don't want any emails, so I deselect any emails destined for me. Of course, mistakes happen, and by way of example, let us say that we deleted the peaking jib by mistake, or perhaps we want to change the category of a completed snag. To edit a closed or deleted snag, we must reopen it. Click the Uncomplete or the Undelete button as appropriate, adding a note as to why we are reopening the snag. Make whatever changes are necessary, and then complete it again. However, I will just re-delete it. Happy with our updates, we are ready to send the emails to our installers and owner. The emails will be grouped and any contractors will receive a single email with all of the snags assigned to them. And we can preview the email content if we wish. We finally press the Close and Send Emails button. For completeness, let's have a quick look at the emails that the system sent out. This is the email sent to our painting contractor, Mr. Painter. The snags are listed in the email and any images are automatically referenced. The email to our owner has all of the updates. For closed snags, the resolution note is included. For any snags that reference the tolerance guide, a clickable link is attached that takes the owner directly to the relevant section of the tolerance guide. There are two more important features for snag management. The first is that of history. The history is automatically populated for you, and you can use the history to review all of the actions taken for a snag, including reviewing who has been emailed and when. Importantly, you can add relevant notes here as well. For example, let's record that the contractor was phoned to provide an update. Reviewing the history, we see the date and time the entry was added and the note. The final item to cover off is that of the full snag editor. The full editor is available from the Quick Snag Editor page and from the search page. To continue with our scenario, let us update an individual snag. We shall assume that the peaking jib is overdue and we wish to email the contractor and the owner with an update. We can see in the status column our overdue snags, but what if we have many builds? This is where we can use our filters. Using the filters, we can view snags across all of our builds by whatever criteria suits our needs. Filters will be covered off in greater detail in the snag statistics video, but for now we shall choose status and then overdue. Notice there is no quick editor option available as we are now working with snags across all of our builds and not across an individual property. Click on the View button for our peaking jib. Here we see our snag detail and a number of tabs, including the action log, which is our history, and our contractor and owner tabs. Clicking on the contractor tab, we can see the contractor, the contact details, and the assigned and estimated completion dates. We can edit the dates here if we wish. Clicking on the phone icon will display the contact phone number if one is loaded in the system for that contractor. Clicking on the email button gives you a pre-formatted email with all of the relevant details as seen earlier in the video. The primary difference here is that you can edit the email and add any extra information you wish to convey. Click Save to save any edits you have made to the email and then review the contents before clicking Send. The process is identical for the owner's email. Closing the editor returns you to the property that the snag belongs to, just in case there are any other snags you wish to review while you are there. You can deal with any remaining issues directly or by clicking on the Full Editor button. This concludes our tutorial on snag management. The last video in the series deals with how to use filters and statistics of the snag system to find potential problem areas, especially within large building companies. Be sure to watch it, and thanks for watching.